Hey everybody, thanks for listening here on my podcast and following along on my YouTube channel at CommonGirl Creations. I have gotten a lot of great feedback so far in my first few videos regarding the laws of the universe, the law of inspired action, divine oneness, and I thought I would just go ahead and jump right into the law of attraction. It's the one thing most people are familiar with the phrase, even if they're not familiar with the how-tos and what exactly that means. And I know many people are confused or unsure how the law of attraction and the law of vibration go together. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about that today. So first and foremost, just a little recap on the laws of the universe. We're talking about a universe that is just a giant, massive energy field that is made up of billions and billions and trillions of atoms and cells and all kinds of stuff. So it's the universe that not only lives outside of us. When we look around and we see the trees and we see all of our, we call it the 3D world, when we see our homes and our parks and our oceans and whatnot. This is all part of our universe, but it's also much bigger than that when you go into outer space and you go into stars and planets. But it's also that massive and mysterious inside of us. If you've ever seen a scientist look down through a microscope at a cell or maybe an organ or a gene, and you'll see a few things. One, you'll see whatever tiny little thing he's looking at, but you'll also see this exorbitant amount of space around that particular organism. And that space is it's not nothing, it's energy. It's really what connects us all together in this one great big, I was going to say blueberry, but that's the earth. So it's so much bigger than that. So when we're talking about the law of vibration, we're talking about the energy that is proven to be all around us, within us, and how we feel and how that transmutes and carries from one place to another, one cell to another, one human to another, one circumstance to another. And that's really through vibration, constantly moving. When you're looking at me on the video, you may feel like you're looking at a solid person where, it's solid. I have bones and skin, and, the desk I'm at is solid and the chair I'm solid, but really I'm moving at a very high rate of speed, so fast that you can't even tell that I'm moving. That energy around me and the cells and everything that makes up who I am is moving at such a high rate of speed that it just looks like I'm standing still. Kind of a elementary example of this would be being in an airplane. When you're in an airplane and you're up in space and above the clouds, and it's just blue skies around, or maybe even darkness around you, you're flying at tens of thousands of miles above the earth, and you're flying thousands of miles an hour. Maybe it's not thousands, maybe it's 100, I don't know. But you're flying so fast, you don't feel like, when you look out, you don't feel like you're moving. You only get the sense of moving because maybe a cloud goes by, or a tree goes by, or you're looking down out of the window and you're above everything and it looks like you're going really slowly over the landscape. But when you go in for a landing and that same plane that's going, a few hundred miles an hour is coming down, as you get closer to the land, then you look at, and then you can see how fast you're actually really moving because of the visuals around you for the relativity to the ground. I guess it's a little bit of law of relativity too. So anyway, so we are vibrating at a very high rate of speed, and that vibration carries emotion. It carries really whatever that, because emotion, what that is it's energy in motion. So we had talked in the previous podcast about, that feeling like when you walk into a room and somebody's been arguing, or it's just a negative, it just feels negative, feels heavy. You could cut the tension with a knife. The reason you're feeling that is because when you're walking in, there's an energy being put out that's very negative, very heavy, and you're feeling that as a vibration. So you have the ability through law of attraction and really all these universal laws to manipulate and control that energy of what comes in and what goes out and what brings things back into your 3D world, into your physical world. And, I've said it, I think in every video, and I'll probably keep saying it, is that, when you look at the circumstance around you, you created that. You created all of it. Again, I'm not saying you did it on purpose, especially if it's something that you didn't want, but you did create it through, and 95, really 98% of us are doing that and creating that life around us by default. We're doing it based on old thought processes. We're doing it by programming. We're doing it by the way our genetics are. We're not really, we're really there, experience life happening to us, good and bad both. But we can really control that through predominantly our thoughts first, and then that's going to kind of transmit throughout our body. And the law of attraction says that like attracts like. So on a very surface, elementary level, that would mean, I'm thinking happy thoughts, so therefore about a happy person, or about, a blue bird or a happy child. And then, that positive energy is going out, and then all of a sudden I look up, there's a blue bird, or there's a happy child, or, something. And sometimes it can manifest instantaneously like that. But more often than not, it's actually, we're giving off a different vibration. So it has a harder time to really present itself in our 3D, in our experience, because we may be feeling one way and wanting something else. And again, that could be, I'm feeling really great today. I'm really excited about my new job. I'm excited about this new career opportunity. But when you're kind of still in that quiet voice, which we talked about in the last podcast, but when you're still and calm and you kind of take those deep breaths, and that feeling inside of you actually isn't excited and, looking forward to a new adventure or possibilities, what's really happening is you're terrified. You're absolutely, your self-doubt is coming in. I don't think I can do it. Oh my gosh, this is the hardest thing I've ever done. I don't know how it's going to happen. I'm so overwhelmed. And then you wonder why, in a short period of time, you're just attracting more of that negativity or what you don't want into your life than rather what you truly desire. And that's because there's a disconnect in between your actual desire and the vibration that your body is actually putting out there into the universe. So let's talk about this for a minute. So when you're dealing with a really difficult subject, you're trying to find some problems and solutions. And we had already talked about, the importance of breath work, and to, when all that energy is kind of stirred up inside of you, you're feeling really anxious or fearful or unsure or just upset, you're just terrified. That's really what a lot of it is. Even anger comes out, and really what that real emotion is actually terror and fear, and it comes across as being angry. One of the first things you should do if you're unable to begin that breath work, take those breaths in at 4 count, hold, and then exhale at 4 count, and do that until you calm your physical body. Is when you're dealing with a very difficult subject like that and you're unable to kind of soothe yourself, then the next thing you need to do is you need to get off the subject. There is no point in beating a dead horse. There is no benefit to regurgitating the same fear. There's no point in regurgitating the same concern, the same abandonment, the same terror, the same lack, the same disagreement. If you're not able to, in a very short period of time, get yourself kind of under control through that breath work, through removing yourself from the situation and really calming, that energy that's inside of you, you got to get off the subject. You got to change it. You got to distract yourself. And people do ask a lot, like, how do you do that? It's very difficult to do. I'm dealing with the fact I can't pay my mortgage right now. I can't pay my water bill. My child is sick. And what happens in those situations is the law of attraction is working, because again, law of attraction says like attracts like. The problem is, as soon as you get onto that bandwagon and that repetitive fear conversation, and I'm sorry, I can't pay it, I don't have it, it's going to be bad. You're just attracting that. You're just, oh my gosh, I don't trust him. Oh my God, he's cheating on me. Oh my God, I think he's going to do that. Oh my gosh, this is going to happen. And then something happens and you go, I knew it. I told you. I knew it. I was 100% right every time. I'm right every single time. You are, because that's the law of attraction working kind of by default, versus you can control those thoughts, emotions, and actions when you realize that you have control of that. You don't have to be a victim. You don't have to be somebody that's, oh my God, oh, everything bad just happens to me. I'm just Eeyore with the rain cloud on my head. And I know because, every time I think, nothing ever happens good for me, it's not going to happen. I knew I would never, ever make it on that trip. I knew I'd never have enough money. Oh my gosh. And you're just replaying and replaying. And so the problem is because 95, I say 98, but statistics say 95% of us are just recreating the same life, the same day, over and over and over again. We're waking up the same way. We're having the same thoughts. We're experiencing the same fears, the same anxiety. And, at the end of the day, somehow we're patting ourselves on the back. Oh, I knew it. I knew he'd never be faithful. I knew I couldn't trust him. I knew it. I knew he'd lose. I knew it. I knew I wouldn't get it. I knew I wouldn't win. And you're right, because when your vibration is that's exactly what you're going to attract to yourself. So it's really important to, if you don't have an ability to to calm yourself, if you don't have a method of, again, I use breath, I use distraction, I use painting, I use hobbies, I use a funny TV show, to calm yourself. You got to distract yourself. You got to get off the subject. And if that's not possible, then you have to go general. Esther Hicks talks about this through her work with Abraham, and they talk about going general. So what does that mean? So that means, let's talk about a relationship, because that seems to be a really big topic for people. This relationship is just not where I want it to be. I'm unhappy. I feel like I'm ignored. I don't feel like I'm important. I think he's cheating on me. I think that, just negative. Oh, I can't stand him. He's such a slob. Or her. Oh my gosh, she's such a slob. How can she even live like this? And when you're repeating that information, the only thing that's going to come back into your circumstance is what you're repeating. Because in those incidents, when you are focused on what is not happening for you, what you don't have, all the things that are going wrong, you believe that so much that you're having an emotional reaction to it. So now you have the thought and the emotion, which changes your behavior, which causes you to take action, which is in a negative situation, it's going to be a negative action. Negative behavior, and then you're going to get more of it back, and then you're going to, again, once I was right about that too. Told you, I'm just right about everything. Well, how about we think about this in a positive way? How can we use that to our benefit? Well, when we go general on a subject, let's say it's another human being that's just aggravating the crap out of us, and we're not able to pull ourselves away from the fact that, he just leaves his shoes there every single day. We got to go general. We got to go, okay, so, let's just say Tommy. I'm just making up a name. Tommy, he is just so lazy. He just doesn't pick up after himself. You know what? I'm going to try to really change that. He works really hard. He's really exhausted when he gets home. He has just given 110% today and doesn't have even 5% more to pick up those shoes. Tommy does work really hard for us, and he is actually really supportive. And guess what? He always comes home. He's always there. Okay, so he doesn't talk. He doesn't share his day. You know what? He must have a lot on his mind. There's a lot going on. He carries a lot of stresses. It's a lot to care about me and take care of me and our children and our family. And you just keep going more general and more general until you find a place where you can get where you're not feeling those negative emotions, those targeted anger, that upsetness, that hurt, whatever that negative feeling is. Because remember, the more you feel those negative feelings, the heavier you're going to feel, physically heavier. You're going to feel the weight on you. And nobody feels good when the weight is just pulling you down. Your body goes into a different posture. Your shoulders come forward, your head goes down, your eyes, it really starts draining, right? So you got to get out of, you can't camp out on these negative feelings and thoughts. It's very difficult to do. I understand and acknowledge that's very difficult to do, but you have to start somewhere. And the starting place is remembering that you are attracting all of this into your life. It's not anybody else's fault. You are attracting this into your life. So let's go back to Tommy. Oh, I can never find a good man. I can never, every man is the same way. Every man cheats. Every man is lazy. Every man, every. You know why? Because that's your thought process. So when your thought process is, it always is, and you use those absolute, always is, I never will be, then that's your experience. You're just going to change his name from Tommy to John, to Sally, to whatever. It's the same situation. And so if you're one of those people that feel like you are reliving the same situation over and over again with a different name, a different address, but the circumstances are the same or so similar, you have only one place to go and one thing to look at to figure out why that keeps happening. And that's you. You have to look in the mirror and understanding that you are attracting it. It's like attracts like. You can sit here all day long like, I want to be a millionaire. I want to be a millionaire. I want to have so much money. I want to do this. I want to do that. And you're writing it down. You're saying affirmations. But your vibration and your action is completely different. And your action is, I'm just going to keep running up credit cards. I'm just going to keep frivolously spending. I'm going to keep buying things I don't need. I'm going to keep returning things. And really what you are is an addictive shopper. You're a compulsive spender. But on the other hand, you're sitting here, oh my gosh, I want to save so much money, but you're not actually doing it. It's because there's a disconnect in your actual vibration of who you are. And that's what you need to look at. Nobody can change it for you. Nobody can make it better for you. The only thing others can do is bring the awareness to you. And then through that awareness, we're hoping that, you gain that acknowledgement. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. I am actually reliving the same relationship over and over again. Different name, different address. Same relationship. It's the same process. The outcome is the same. I am reliving my spending and my financial wellness. It's the same. I get money, I spend money. I get money, I spend money. I get money, I spend money. I get money, I spend more money than I have. I charge, and then I spend it again, and then I get more. And you're just in this cycle. But really, at the end of the day, at any given time when you check your bank account, you have about the same in there, which isn't very much. When you look at your debt, it's about the same. And for a lot of us, it gets worse as we get older. So you have to identify really those core thoughts and feelings, those desires that you really want. And then look at your life, look at the circumstances around and say, does this match my desire? Does this match what I keep saying I want? Does this even look remotely like I'm on the right path? And if the answer is no, you got a problem with the vibration. And you got to elevate your vibration. And you do that first by getting off the terrible subject, by getting away from the horrible feelings, even if it's to distract yourself for a few moments. Now, Esther Hicks and Abraham will tell you, you need as little as 17 seconds. 17 seconds, that's it. You don't need a week, you don't need a day, you don't need 28 days to change a habit. You need 17 seconds for this to start a change, to change your vibration. And 17 seconds looks like this. Wow. I woke up today. I slept so good last night. The weather is wonderful. I am so happy that I have a fresh cup of coffee. I feel so good be able to sit with myself this morning. I feel, as I watch the kids sleep, I'm staring at them before they get out of bed. What amazing little creatures they are. Look at that man that, maybe he already left for work. I'm so glad that he gets up and tries every day. I am so appreciative. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful for waking up. I'm so thankful for the air I breathe. I'm thankful that I have a roof over my head. And you just keep along these 17 seconds. That's it, 17 seconds. And then what happens is, as you continue that process, that thought process, it's a very deliberate thought. We're not thinking by default. We're not allowing the fact that maybe we got up late, or the same bills are going to be there today that were there yesterday. We're not allowing that to distract us, because that's default mode. That's just like you're going to get up deliberately. I'm going to think about this. I love how good I feel this morning. I love that. I'm so grateful that I woke up. It means I have another day, another opportunity. And that 17 seconds slowly turns into 34 seconds. And 34 seconds turns into 68 seconds. It's no time at all. And in that little bit of time, you start feeling this change happen inside of you. Now, for some of us, when we first start, it may just feel ridiculous. But ridiculous and laughing at the ridiculousness of it is still a better feeling than being anxious and fearful and sad and distraught. Ridiculous is funny. Ridiculous is positive. And then before you know it, you might get a little smile on your face, like, this is absolutely ridiculous. I'm sitting here talking to myself saying that, I love the way all this is happening, when really, then you start, I got a leak in the roof, the car won't start, the kids are late, Johnny's failing to school, don't know what time, my husband never tells me what time he's going to come home. And then see them very quickly in that same 17, 34, 68 seconds. Now you're going down a rabbit hole of negativity. And guess what's going to win at the end of the day? You're going to attract, through the law of attraction, more of the same. So really what the law of attraction is, it really is about deliberately choosing thoughts that cause better feelings, that inspire better behavior and more positive action. And when you start doing this, it doesn't take very long. Then you're just going to continue to build on your awareness and your knowledge of law of vibration, law of cause and effect. And you're just going to continue to build because you're going to see immediate results. You will see immediate results. I promise you this. One day, one morning, start your morning out with 17 seconds of gratitude on any subject. And do not allow your mind to go down the rabbit hole of negativity. Stop it. Get up, say it out loud. Stop it. I condemn you. Not today. Not now. Not in this moment. In this moment, I'm going to be in gratitude. In this moment, I'm going to reflect on all the positive things in my life. Because here's what can happen. You have desires, right? We have relationship, money, family, job, maybe a car, a trip. You have all these positive plans, right? And you're feeling really good about most of them. But you're not feeling so great over here about maybe having enough money to accomplish all this. Or maybe, Tommy's not cooperating and so you're having an argument. That one negative thought, that one negative vibration that you're emanating can destroy all the good in every single other desire that you have. However, opposite is true as well. You have all these negative things. I can't pay the bills. My car broke down. I ain't got a job. Whatever it is, the negative. One positive rampage, 17-second rampage, will begin to change all of this negative. Your perception will change. Your feelings will change. Your behavior towards those presumably negative things will change. And you will start really reaping the positive benefits of what you're sowing. And that sowing starts in that deliberate thought. Do not let yourself go down these obsessive, repetitive, negative paths. Just don't do it. Stop it. And you're not going to be able to always do this. But if you do it 50 times an hour, then do it 50 times an hour. If your day is the majority right now, you're starting and ending your day, the majority of it with anxiety and depression and just weight and that just nothing is going, you have to stop. You have to make a deliberate choice. So either not think about it, think about something, think about, Esther tells a story about, distract yourself. She was thinking about blue glass, butterflies, and something else, feathers. Just think about that, blue glass. How much blue glass can I find? I'm just going to think about, I don't know, red birds. What are red birds? Cardinals. I'm going to think about cardinals. Just, you got to get your mind to, it can be so ridiculous. And actually, it's kind of funny. And you get yourself out of it when it's so ridiculous. I'm going to think about cotton candy. I'm going to think about puppies. Whatever it is, whatever it takes, stop yourself. I'm going to think about puppies. I'm going to find me some videos on some puppies. I'm going to walk around and think about ridiculous puppies. I'm going to think about just a ridiculousness of something. And my old page used to be called Real, Relatable, and Ridiculous. And that's one of the reasons I called it that, because there are so many things we connect to on a level of, and there's nothing wrong with that, of a negative experience, a death, a grievance, a pain, a suffering. We connect so easily on this. And all I'm saying is we can connect on the ridiculousness of some of the things we actually worry about, because we're worrying about something we're afraid is going to happen, and our attention to that subject causes it to happen through law of attraction. So why not use this deliberately to create the life that you really want? Bring in the money that you want. Bring in the home that you want. The specific person that you want. Why not? It's happening whether you're doing it or not. You know it is, because you're saying that. It always happens. This always happens to me. It's always happening to me. You're right. If that's your thought process, and your thought process is on the negative, you're right. It is always going to happen to you. That should tell you it works 100% of the time. So we're going to get more in detail and have a lot more topics of discussion really about vibration, how to transmute that vibration, actually through the law of transmuting energy and some others. But I really wanted to encourage you today that you do have an action step you can take right now to feel better, to change your life. It doesn't have to take 28 days to do it. 21 days, 7 days, 3 days. 17 seconds, okay? 17 seconds. And then try to get to 34 seconds, 68 seconds. And if you can just do 68 seconds, start off in the morning. Start off where you are right now in the car listening to this. Start off by when you're walking into work. How long does it take you to walk from the parking lot to your office? Start by before you get to your child's teacher's classroom. Start before you walk in your child's room. 17 seconds of what you love about them. That's hard when you're mad at them, especially a teenager. I mean, you love them, but you also want to choke them. Don't choke them. Think about the ridiculousness of that statement. You don't really want to choke them. Come on. That's ridiculous. You don't really want to. What you want to do is love them through it. And just those little tiny changes will have such an impact on your moment. And then you keep adding to those moments. And before you know it, you're creating the life of your dreams. And you're doing it really easily, without blood, sweat, and tears. You're doing it through happiness and ridiculousness of it all. Thanks for listening, guys. And make sure you subscribe to the channel and share this podcast as well as this YouTube video with your friends and family if you think they could benefit from it. And then again, comment below. Let me know what you think. Let me hear some stories. Agree, disagree, crazy as hell, what? Just let me know. And we'll be back for more on this very, very soon.